explain it, it's the fourth generation, right? So Delta is coming from the Greek letters alpha, beta, gamma, delta, right? So we're on number 4, right? This is the fourth version. As with, our iPhones and with our Samsungs and all of our phones, each phone is faster, more efficient, and better, right? So this Delta variant is causing so much more death and so much more hospitalization because it's had 4 generations to improve, right? How each family hopes that their kids are stronger and faster and smarter. Viruses do the exact same thing. So with more time, the Delta variant is the 4th version of the COVID-19 strain that came out in 2019. There's viruses that prefer to be passed, so transmit means to pass, right? So some viruses are passed through contact, right? Some are passed through things that you put in your mouth. This one is passed through respiratory secretions, right? So coughing, sneezing, and so it comes in through your nose, your mouth, your respiratory system. When it first came out, it was new, right? And so it didn't really know how to really infect or get into you, but now that it's had 4 generations to really improve, the one that continues to last is more easily passed or more transmissible because now it knows exactly where to get you. So this one has had a chance to improve significantly and it's much more easily passed than the prior versions. So, number 1, vaccination. I know that it's become a pretty hotly contested issue with, some places requiring vaccine mandates, people not wanting to be told what to do, but vaccination always provides protection. Vaccination does not provide immunity. And so oftentimes when I hear patients tell me like, well, if I get vaccinated, I'm still gonna get it. Well, there's a difference, right? Because people who are getting the Delta variant who are vaccinated aren't the ones that are dying at high rates, and they're not the ones that are in the hospital at high rates. It's still possible, but you have a layer of protection, right? The vaccine creates those antibodies so that when you do get the virus, you already have a line of defense. You have a fortress versus someone who's attacked and they have nothing set up, right? So number 1 for your protection is vaccination. Number 2 is continuing to use all the same strategies we've used before. So wearing your mask, washing your hands, social distancing, staying home when you were sick, all of the good care that really made the initial difference before we had a vaccine. So the reason why we're on this 4th surge is that we were able to make a huge dent once we had mask mandates, right? And that's because masking works. When we had social distancing and shutting, very crowded places down to 1/4 or 50% capacity, that's when we saw numbers go down. And then we had the biggest drop with the vaccine. So if we're able to put all of those together, we can really protect each other. And that's, I think, the missing piece, that most people are very focused on themselves and don't understand that you protecting yourself is really gonna end up protecting the entire planet. It's that serious. Since school has started, I've had a COVID positive child under 12 every single week, at least one. Yeah, the face you made is the face that I make. I just had another one yesterday because it's so heartbreaking that the idea of protecting our children has become so political that, we can't force, don't force teachers to get a vaccine, don't force kids to wear a mask. But what they don't understand is that there's no online school. Kids are being forced to go to school and be in these incubators of no social distancing, no mask with this highly passed on virus, right? This is the 4th version. I just said it's had 4 generations to improve. So I'm getting all these like 6 and 7-year-olds, 2-month-olds, 2-year-olds who are positive for COVID because they have an older sibling that went to school, brought it home to the whole family. 6-year-old went to 1st grade, got it from somebody else in the classroom. Now the whole family has COVID. It is out of control. Like, it should not be a question. We have a vaccine that is safe. Yesterday, Pfizer was fully FDA approved through rigorous 2 years of monitoring. It is safe, but we are putting these little tiny children, our future, at risk, right? We know that there's long-term consequences, right? There's been tons of athletes who have never been the same, right? For those who watch football, Cam Newton hasn't been the same since he got COVID, right? These are top tier athletes, and we're gonna make 6 and 7-year-olds who are still growing and developing fight with this disease because people don't wanna get a vaccine that is safe and they don't wanna wear a mask. It's mind-boggling how terrible it is for parents of school-age children. What I do recommend for those who have kids 12 and above is to vaccinate your children. Like, Pfizer is safe for children. It's been fully FDA approved for those 16 and above. It's still under emergency use authorization for 12 to 16 because it hasn't been monitored that long. But vaccinate your children, and for the tiny ones, make sure that they wear the mask, and go to your school board, go to your local government, and really push for them to make mask mandates possible. Please get vaccinated. The vaccine is safe for pregnant women, it's safe for nursing mothers, and there's an added benefit of you pass on those antibodies to your baby who can't get a vaccine that early. I've had countless pregnant mothers who've gone into early labor because they've had COVID-19. It's very serious. Delivering at 29 weeks because you have COVID, right? Your body can't continue to support you and the baby, so the baby has to be delivered. It's very serious. It's not like it was before last year. This is a completely different ball game. And if we can keep playing around, the vaccine we have is no longer gonna be any good anymore. So it's time for people to stop saying, I'm waiting, I wanna see if I get a third eye, like all of those things that I keep hearing, like, playtime is over, because it's only going to continue to mutate because we already have Lambda variant on the scene, right? And we're just going to continue to have more and more generations of this if we keep playing games. I'm in this every day, and every day I'm afraid I could die. Just yesterday, I was feeling kind of fatigued, my chest was kind of hurting, I wasn't feeling great. And I put the nurses on alert, like, hey, if I don't feel better by tomorrow, I'll need to get tested, because all these COVID positive patients I'm interacting with. And in the beginning, the overwhelming majority of deaths were people like me, people who were trying to do their job, trying to do the best that they could, and because no one else cared, because they say, well, you chose that profession, that's on you. That's not fair. Like, I didn't sign up to die. I signed up to help people, but I didn't sign up to die. And so it's a very real fear that I have on a daily basis, and that I can take it to the ones that I love, right? In the very beginning, doctors quarantined from their families and didn't see them for months and months at a time for fear of passing it to their families. And here we are again, right? I haven't been able to have a COVID-free day for 2 years, right? I'm constantly surge planning and thinking about how to protect my staff and how can we continue to meet the needs of, my patients with asthma or diabetes or things like that if all my providers are sick with COVID, right? It will be a huge problem, and that does keep me up at night. It does.